Welcome to the Thrive with Technology podcast. I'm Kurt Dewick, and I've spent the last few decades helping businesses leverage their technology. Our goal here is to discuss where technology intersects with business and leave you with some new information to move forward.
Hey everybody, I'm Wes from Solutions IT. I have with me Zach Worms, representing the technical aspect of Solutions IT. And the reason for the video today, we want to talk to you about email hacks. So, is this a thing?
Oh, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
We deal with it on a daily basis.
Daily basis. Okay, so recently we had a company, let's call them Johnny's Tambourine Factory. Okay, so a bad email came into a user and it had an attachment, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now the user went and put in their credentials, their username and password, and then clicked send. Is that a bad thing to do?
Oh, that's a really bad thing to do.
So what were the consequences of putting that in there?
I mean, it boils down to they ended up sending a lot of money to somewhere they shouldn't have sent money to.
Ouch. Okay, so in businesses, we're trying to protect the money that we just made, right? So this is a bad thing to do. Now, so Johnny's Tambourine Factory, I think what happened next is the bad actor. What did they capture from all that? What kind of information?
So they grabbed the username and password, obviously from the client, and they ended up logging into the account. They usually stick it in their phone or whatever so they can see their messages as they come in, and they just keep tabs on what's going on. So reading email, getting a feel for your style, getting a feel for how you talk, and capture things like your signatures and stuff. And then from there, they create a domain that you have no power over. So if Johnny's Tambourine Factory, their domain name was Johnny's Tambourines, and well, this bad actor would set up one called Johnny's Tambourine.
Right.
And
just take away the S.
Yeah, and I mean,
they got the logo, they got their email signature.
Mm-hmm.
They're essentially mimicking everything about Johnny's Tambourine because they've harvested the way they've written emails in the past. And so now you can target banking institutions, vendors, clients that owe you money, and they would ask for requests, and they would point that request toward a particular bank account.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the recipient would look at that and say, oh, I like doing business with Johnny. Boom. There's a transfer of money.
Got it.
And does that money ever get retrieved again? Can they ever recall it back?
Sometimes, but not usually.
Mostly it's gone. Okay. So we don't want to do that. Now, in this case, Johnny would have quickly changed the password, but that didn't stop it, because like we said, they created Johnny's Tambourine, not tambourines, and so they have their own domain. Is there any recourse a technical group like us can now do to safeguard Johnny's Tambourines Factory?
Not really. I mean, the best way would be to communicate with all the people at the other end, your clients, vendors, and so on, and let them know, hey, somebody's doing this. If something seems a little off, call us and verify.
Yeah. So to be clear, hey, if you receive an email that looks like this, it's not us. Please call us in advance if you have any questions, but you want to protect your end users from any additional harm that this could create. So what are some of the best practices that Solutions IT does that we can share with our listening audience to kind of avoid this scenario?
Absolutely. There's a number of them. One is to always enable two-factor authentication on not just your email, but every account you have. That way, if you do oops and send somebody a password, well, they'll try to log in, but they also need the code from your phone or text or email or whatever.
And that's a one-time setup, and then it's a free deterrent. It's a free layer of protection, if you will.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else?
Yep. You can do stuff like buy the domains that are close to yours. So, like Johnny's Tambourines, you could buy Johnny's Tambourine, or anything that would be close. You could do things like ask us where we find the sign-in logs. We can help you get access to those, and it would tell you who is trying to sign in, roughly from where, so that if somebody tries from across the globe, or states, Mexico, anywhere, it'll tell you roughly where they logged in from. So if something looks a little questionable, you can jump on that.
Right. Can you train the individuals somehow? What does that look like?
Well, I mean, you could take it on yourself and just explain some of the questionable activity that you may see in your email, and if somebody's wanting money or it looks a little questionable, come to you as a manager. Or there's also some products that we offer that can train users, test them, if you will,
with no harm.
Yeah, and let you know if somebody clicks on these links, and so you can kind of get a feel for who would be at risk, and then from there do a little extra one-on-one or whatever needs doing too.
Yeah. So I've looked into the cybersecurity thing a little bit, and the one thing they talk about is the weakest link in any organization is the human factor. Someone's going to make a mistake. I think the last thing you want to do when an individual in your organization does make a mistake is you don't want to penalize them. You don't, okay, the damage is already done. If you haven't trained them, do you kind of own the responsibility on that? Yeah, I think you do. So let's not inflict any more damage on the individual. They already feel pretty bad about doing that, and lesson learned, okay? So now let's move on. But there's a couple other things, and I think there's maybe a false narrative out there that I have spam filtering on my email, so I'm good. Is it good?
I mean, spam filtering, the idea is to take as much of it away as possible, but sometimes they do slip by, so it's not perfect.
Right.
So we still need to be careful and not just trust everything that rolls into our inbox.
Right. Okay. So, hey, I hope this has been helpful for you today. I think we have about 5 or 6 tips that we listed to kind of safeguard yourself from the varying damaging effects that email hacking can do. If you want to learn more about that, please reach out to us. marketing@solutionsit.ca would be a great email, and we'd be happy to correspond with you that way. Our blog page on our website has got all kinds of tips. If you haven't reviewed it lately, there's literally dozens of security blogs on there for your enjoyment and for your reading.
I would take it one further. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you reuse passwords, you gotta be careful with that.
That's right. Hey, that's a good point. So we know a lot of the people out there are using 3 passwords. So in the event that the hacker captured one of those passwords because you put it into there, now you have to think, if I was a hacker, what would I do? Well, what they do is they have a list of, let's say, 500 of the most common websites where you go shopping. You got Amazon, you got eBay, maybe your Costco, your local co-op. Social media. Ooh, that could be embarrassing as well. Okay, so if you're recycling those passwords, you can already see the damage. First thing I would do is go to the bank, probably one at the top of the list. Try that same password with those credentials and see if I get a hit. That's what the hackers do. They're organized people. They're not just some guy in a basement thinking, I want to cause some damage on a business. No. They got a marketing department. They got their own website. They have quotas to make. They're highly organized. So they would have this all templated out, and machines automating a lot of this for them, right?
It seems ridiculous. But
It seems ridiculous. It's a day and age that we're in, folks. Anything else? Have we covered it all? Hey, it's been fun. I hope this helps you today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.